let's take a further look into our decimals, which we're looking at tenths, then hundredths, then thousandths this year. You don't have to go into your math journal to answer these. You can do this on the form that you downloaded. But right here we have a tenths grid. That means it's broken into 10 parts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 parts, which means we have one whole thing broken into 10 parts, which would be tenths. Then we have another grid right next to it, which I can see the tenths right here going down in the columns, but they broke those tenths up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more parts. So if I take 10 things and I divide them up into 10 more parts, I'm going to get 100 things. That's really 10 things multiplied by 10 things, which gives me 100 things. So I want you to think about, what do these grids have in common and how are they different? Go ahead and pause the video for a second or two, for a minute or so, and think about that, and then press play and we'll go over the answers. So you should be back. For me, when I looked at these grids, they looked like they were exactly the same size and the same shape, or what we call congruent in math. I also said that, well, I won't get into that, but I did put it into this answer. I said that they were broken up into different equal parts. So these are 10 equal parts, and these are 100 equal parts. That means all the parts are exactly the same size and same shape. And then how they're different, well, that's where I kind of jumped ahead and said they're divided into different numbers of sections, or one grid is divided into tenths and the other grid is divided into hundredths. So what if we divided each square of the hundredths grid into 10 more sections? That's taking, this is our hundredths because there's 100 squares. What if we took each one of those little squares and cut them into 10 parts? So it would be kind of like putting this grid into each one of these little squares. How many total parts would we have if we did that? Go ahead and pause your video and kind of work through that, and then when you're ready, come back and we'll check your answer. So I think if we had 100 sections, and we're going to multiply them into 10 more sections, each one of them, we're multiplying 100 by 10, which is going to give us a total of 1,000 different things. Okay, so we'd have 1,000 sections. So here's a thousandths grid, because this grid represents our ones place, which is the whole number place just to the left of the decimal point. It's the end of our whole number sentence, the ones place. And then we start with our decimals, and the thousandths is our third decimal place to the right of the decimal. So how would you write the decimal for the shaded region in this grid? And they had to magnify it because it's starting to get pretty small in there, isn't it? So here's the section that we're looking at. How are you going to write that as a decimal? I would write it as I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts out of the 1,000 parts it takes to make a whole. So thousandths is 3 decimal places to the right of the decimal point. So you would write 0.005, or we read that as 5 thousandths. I do want you to make a note in your math journals. You do need to be keeping track of your vocabulary, and key vocabulary words are listed at the beginning of each module. And the group that is assigned to those key vocabulary words are the people who need to be posting in the math vocabulary dictionary or glossary. That's at the very top. It's always in that very first block on the main course screen. So they need to do that following the instructions in the dictionary or glossary. So usually you need to write your word, give the book definition, give your own definition, a definition in your own words, in other words. Picture, use the word in a sentence, and and a Spanish equivalent. So that's what you need to do for your vocabulary, and you need to be keeping track of it in your math journals, as well as you can also post other words that come up that you have trouble with in the math dictionary or glossary there at the top of the course page at any time. But you do need to follow the rules of posting book definition in your own words, picture, Spanish equivalent. Oh, and I think I did synonym and antonym with those also. So make sure you follow those rules. And so that's kind of our introduction into the thousandths part of our decimals. We're going to explore this a little bit more as we go along in this module. So I'll see you in the next video.